Hi everybody, Mr. Wakeman here, and today we're going to go over some major principles of lab safety. Maintaining safety equipment, including eyewear. Look at all equipment and check for defects before you use it. Glass expands when heated, so a small crack now can turn into a problem later. If you notice any defects, let your instructor know. Follow settings as outlined in the procedure. For example, if we said to put your burner on low and you have it set on high, you might miss a critical point in the reaction. Always wear safety goggles, and be sure to keep them on until everybody's done and is cleaned up. Keep a close eye on Bunsen burners, and make sure any flammable items like loose papers, clothes, and hair stay away from the flame. Handling, labeling, and securing equipment materials. Clearly label all of your test tubes and reagents. This doesn't mean you have to try and fit RS-2,4-methylpropylphenylpropanoic acid on a test tube. Feel free to put a letter or a number as long as you have a key on another sheet of paper. All equipment has a home. Make sure it goes back to that home before you leave, and when you're not using it. Use tongs when handling glassware, and assume glassware is hot until proven otherwise. Glassware will look the same whether it's room temperature or 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Many reactions we're going to do in here are exothermic, meaning they put out heat, and that could be a great deal of heat. Make sure you firmly hold equipment, and don't smell or taste substances. If you want to smell a substance, make sure you waft towards you, and we'll go over what that is in class. Chemical and biological waste does not go down the sink or in the trash, unless you're specifically directed to do so by the instructor. Make sure you wipe down your lab bench, and any glassware is cleaned as directed. Hazardous chemicals must be disposed of in the hazardous waste area, and glass goes in the sharp bins. If you have any accidents, tell the instructor immediately. If there's a fire drill, containers should be closed, gas valves turned off, fume hoods turned off, and anything electrical turned off. If a chemical splashes in your eye or on your skin, immediately flush with running water from the eye wash station or safety shower for at least 20 minutes. If a chemical splashes in your partner's eye, tell the instructor while the partner is at the eye wash station, and vice versa. We'll go through proper procedures for using the eye wash stations in class. When mercury thermometers are broken, mercury must not be touched. Now you probably know that most thermometers now contain alcohol instead of mercury, but treat a broken thermometer like it contains mercury just in case. Know the location of the classroom's first aid kit, eye wash station, and chemical shower. Again, any incident should be reported to the instructor immediately. That's including spills, breakages, cuts, burns, anything that happens in the lab. Some of these chemicals are caustic, and while they might seem like nothing at first when you get on your skin, you might not notice symptoms until you leave the lab. I will warn you prior to starting the lab if we will be working with caustic chemicals. If you have an allergy or medical condition that relates to the lab environment, such as a latex allergy or severe asthma, tell me prior to the first lab. We can arrange an alternate lab. If you or your partner experience an allergic reaction during a lab, which could be evidenced by a rash, difficulty breathing, dizziness, itching, or other symptoms, tell me right away. When collecting samples outside, try your best to avoid harming the local plants and animals. For example, if all you need is the leaf of a plant, make sure you don't kill the plant by pulling it up by its roots. Take only materials you're asked to take, and leave only footprints. Don't attempt to perform an experiment other than what's listed without first checking with the instructor. Some of these chemicals, when mixed, might have a reaction that you're not ready for, so check with the instructor beforehand. If you are unsure of what you're doing, reread any available instructions or ask the instructor before proceeding. Don't attempt to perform these experiments at home unless otherwise instructed. Treat living or formerly living things with respect. Work carefully with them. Don't cause undue stress to living animals. And wear gloves and goggles when working with any living or formerly living things, and cover any open wounds to avoid infection. Short version, treat living things with the care you'd want somebody to show your pet. And lastly, we all have a safety quiz to review what we just went over. So take a look at this picture. You've got some blanks on your sheet. Take a few minutes to fill those in.